Hello, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Native News Update. It's Friday, September 21st, and many of the stories you hear here can be found at IndianCountryNews.com. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. President Barack Obama's administration has created a national monument at the 4,700 acres of high desert around Chimney Rock, which is a dramatic rock formation in southwestern Colorado that is sacred to the Southern Ute tribe. The monument will be the third created by the Obama administration. Presidents have the ability to set aside swaths of public land or historic buildings as national monuments under the 1906 Antiquities Act. Obama has also designated the decommissioned Fort Monroe in Virginia and Fort Ord in California as national monuments. This week, the House of Representatives passed legislation to allow federal recognized tribal governments to seek a federal emergency or disaster declaration directly from the President of the United States. FEMA Administrator Craig Fugate says such an amendment to the Stafford Act affirms the sovereignty of tribal governments. FEMA has strong, long-standing relationships with tribal governments, and they are essential members of the emergency management team. He also stated that the U.S. government has a unique government-to-government relationship with federally recognized tribal governments, and amending the Stafford Act to recognize this sovereign relationship will only strengthen the way that FEMA supports tribal communities before, after, and during disasters. The Nez Perce Trail Foundation and the Nez Perce National Historic Trail have completed the trail's Google Mapping project. For visitors unable to physically visit the Nez Perce National Historic Trail, the option is now available for them to travel the entire length of the trail using Google Maps and Google Earth. Completion of the virtual tour marks the first significant use of the full range of Google Web tools to showcase, promote, educate, and enhance the public's awareness and use of one of our nation's historic trails. In 1986, Congress enacted legislation that established the Nez Perce National Historic Trail, which follows the 1,170-mile route of the 1877 war and flight of the Nez Perce. To check out the virtual tour, you can visit nezpercetrail.net. According to The Nation magazine, voter suppression continues to threaten participation on Election Day, and communities of color are fighting back and urging people to pledge and vote in November. As poll watchers prepare to challenge votes, groups like Video the Vote are training everyday people to document what happens. They'll then find a media partner to broadcast those videos. Meanwhile, more and more social media apps are encouraging people of color and youth to register and pledge to vote. September 25th is National Voter Registration Day and National Voter Education Day. With new voters and young voters, especially people of color, positioned to play a critical role in the November presidential elections, it's no wonder that there is attempts all over the country to try to suppress exercising that power. Pushing back against efforts to squash the vote acknowledges the differing ways communities of color are using technology to encourage to either register or pledge to get to the polls on November 6th. When you look at Native vote, in the 2008 presidential elections, 34% of the total Native American population over age 18 was eligible but not registered to vote. Native Vote, an initiative of the National Congress of the American Indians, is a national nonpartisan effort to mobilize the American Indian and Alaska Native vote. The groups are hosting Get Out the Vote trainings across the country and webinars focusing on using phone banking and social networking to spread the word within Native communities. On their website at nativevote.org, users can register to vote and access a toolkit, including an election observer guide, posters, and trivia. Beyond registering people to vote online, Rock the Vote is putting the power in the hands of the individuals by inviting them to become voter registration partners. Being a partner enables individuals to create customizable voter registration tools on their websites, blogs, Facebook page, or even MySpace profile. That way people can register their readers, friends, family, or whoever is part of their defined community. Already registered? You can also use the site to find your local polling place and sign up for election reminders. Rock the Vote also recently launched a @WeWill hashtag as part of their campaign that urges youth to participate at the ballot box despite efforts to stop them. This campaign includes an online sign-on pledge. 866 Our Vote, the election protection smartphone app, provides English and Spanish language resources that allows users to register, verify their registration, look up their polling place, review voting rules and regulations for their state, and see what type of machine they vote on. Want to report a problem or get an answer to a voting-related question? Contact Election Protection via phone or email at 866 Our Vote or info@866ourvote.org. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me and have a grand day.